according to the sinful nature you will die, but if by the Spirit you put to death the misdeeds of the body, you will live. So I'm going to ask you a few questions about that verse. What are your first thoughts about this verse?
My first thoughts are about Paul's preoccupation with the difference between the sinful nature and the spiritual nature.
Okay. What comes to mind when you first hear it?
What comes to mind? Well, the thing that stood out to me is you will die and you will live, and what that really means, and how that gets played out, what dying and living means in the context of those verses. So kind of a question came to mind for me first.
Okay. What do you think it means?
What do I think it means? Well, I think insofar as we are transformed by the Spirit of God in our lives, we experience God, and we experience God more fully. And so part of that is the Spirit of God living through us and prompting us both to love others and to be aware of how our actions and behaviors are not in line with God's intention for us. So yeah, I think when we sin, that continues to be evidence of a break in our relationship with God, whereas as the Spirit in our lives has reign over our actions, then we experience God more fully. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. What implications does this have on your life? Like anything personal or?
Well, I think one of the things that's significant here is we tend to put a huge emphasis on our own effort, like our own ability to stop doing things or to start doing things. And I think I take comfort in the fact that God has given us His Spirit, that that was something that Jesus promised to us, and that it's a work within us that's ongoing and that we sort of respond to, but we're not necessarily responsible, right? We can't stamp out sin on our own, that Jesus has done that, and by His Spirit we can experience that. So I take comfort in that in terms of my own sin and the way that I see God working in my life, that I can rely on His Spirit and lean into the Word and trust that God is at work, doing that work, and it's not something I have to accomplish on my own.
Right. It's like a reassurance too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time and for answering our questions, and we really appreciate it.